Hello and welcome to MyFusion Helper. My name is Troy Broussard, and I'm going to give you a quick overview and welcome you to the app and show you how to get going in your first usage. So after you log in, you're going to come to a screen that looks like this. Now, you'll see that you can access your account details or billing information. You'll also see that you'll have a listing of the apps that you have installed. If you've only purchased MyFusion Helper, then that's all that will show up here. However, if you have one of our other apps, such as MyFusion Notes as well, then that would also appear in this list. The next thing you're going to do is simply just click on the MyFusion Helper to launch the application. And this is quite simplistic. There's, in this particular one, I've got some things already set up in a test account, but I'm just going to show you how to do this. You'll go here to the drop down to select the helper that you want to initiate. And as you see, there's a lot of them here. Don't get confused that you have to, pick it from the list. If you know what you're looking for, you can just start typing. So if I wanted to create a goal, I could just come in here and type in GOA, and it goes right to the goal. This is very useful and time saving, so I want to make sure that you're aware of this feature. Now we would give it a name, something like goal, and then we could call it our tracking goal. And we can give it a name here. Now, when you give it a name here, you can't use like underscores. That's not going to work. And I recommend that you keep it all lowercase and all together. If you put a space in there, that is not going to work either. This is a function name for the API, and I'll show you where this is going to get created. So you want to create a name, something like this. Now, you can actually create multiple goals that will fire when this happens, but we're going to keep it simple right now and just do a single goal. And then we're going to create the helper. Okay, now we create the helper, takes just a second, and it will take you to this summary page that will have all of your helpers, and the one that you just created will be here at the top. Now, this allows you to simply just copy the link and paste it into the campaign builder. And you'll also see there's some interesting stats here about how many times it's been run, the last run, and the last contact it was run for. So you'll see that, on this particular, it's just a test app, so we don't have much in here, but here's one for example. And if you notice, when I hover over this contact, if you look down here at the bottom, you'll see that that's actually a link, and it's going to launch Infusionsoft and go straight into that contact. So this is very helpful when you're testing and debugging to be able to go straight in and look at the last contact that it executed for. It's also helpful to see the number of times it's executed, etc., and the last run times to know that it's actually functioning when you're setting up your testing. Okay. Now, another thing that's real important here that I want to make you aware of is the help. At any point in time, if you run into a problem, you can initiate a help desk ticket with this right here. If we're not online, it'll go straight in and save it as a ticket in our help desk system with Zendesk, and we'll reach out to you as soon as we can. Now, we're online all the time, so that should be very easy for us to get back there and get in touch with you as soon as possible. All right, so now we've created a helper, so let's go ahead and copy that link. Okay, so it's copied. And now we could come into Infusionsoft. Okay, and let's go in and throw a goal in here, and let's just say this was some type of a web form that somebody had submitted, and then based on some criteria that they filled out, maybe we have a yes path and a no path here. Okay. And, maybe if they go on the yes path, that we want to invoke some type of, goal to be fired off here. And this would be our custom goal that we made. And we called it tracking test. We call it tracking test or tracking goal. Forgot. So that's a good example of how we can come over there and edit it and take a look. Okay, so that way we make sure. And that'll bring it in, and we called it tracking goal. Okay, so I can copy that, and we come back in there, and let's hook these up. And this would then say MyFusion helper is always going to be what you're going to use for the integration. And then here I would put in tracking goal. And just that easily, I've now got a goal set up in here that is defined within MyFusion Helper. Now, to invoke that goal, let's say we did a whole bunch of stuff in here. So, we might have some emails going out, and, we might have a delayed timer after that, and another email that goes. And depending on what they do, let's just presume that they take the action here. And this is the yes path. And so they did what we wanted them to do, and so we want to track the goal. So now what we would do is come in here, and to link this up, all you have to do is paste in that link. So we come back here to our goals, to our list of helpers, and we can copy the link for Infusionsoft right there. Okay, and when I do that, then I can just paste it right in here, and it's got everything we need. You don't have to mess with any of these additional value pairs or anything like that. Okay, that's all you need to do to paste this in. Now, I want to show you one other thing. You can use that link in anywhere in the application that also uses actions. So for example, let's just hypothetically say that you had something here where your go here so we can say this email status automation, for example, and let's say that you had some type of trigger set here, and you wanted to create a trigger for when an email bounces, and let's just say it was a relay denied bounce, and it happened one time, and you wanted to then fire off a goal instead of using a tag. What you can do is you can go right down here to where it says send an HTTP post to another server, and you can paste in that same URL that you were given. Now, you do not have to add any parameters to the end of it. A lot of systems will force you to do something like this and put a question mark and then do contact ID and all kinds of goofy stuff. You don't need to do that with ours, okay? You can just paste in that and use this to fire off that API goal from these different places where you can use actions as well. So I wanted to make sure and point that out to you, because there's lots of places. For example, when somebody opts out of the system, it fires off an action, and you can trap that and send an HTTP post. You can do these HTTP post actions inside of action sets and other places inside of Infusionsoft, and you can use the MyFusion Helper URL in here as well. So let's go ahead and cancel this. I just wanted to show you that quick test. And that is really a quick overview of how to use the application. There are a lot of different helpers here. We'll have more tutorials coming in the next few days showing you other features and other helpers that you can utilize, but I just wanted to give you a quick start on the goal helper because that's one of the most frequently used. It allows us to quit using tags for functional stuff, right? To start campaigns and stop campaigns and tracking tags and all of that isn't really necessary. And I'm going to show you that how we can use those goals more effectively in the next video. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you soon.